discussed was who are our clients, which are obviously individuals and as well as law firms and or insurance adjusters. But one of our focuses are law firms. Mindy has been in marketing for, gosh, how many years, Mindy?
A long time, Kathy.
But anyway, she's great. She's got a whole portfolio of people she knew and attorneys that she's dealt with. And so we help attorneys by doing backgrounds, locates, and for individuals too. If people not knowing where somebody is, long lost friends, people trying to serve people that they don't know where they are, attorneys. One of our big things is asset searches. I'll let you talk about that, Mindy.
So our asset searches are when people call us, and we discussed this earlier, and we see this a lot because we're women and they talk to us, our clients talk to us a lot, but they're clueless about their husband, or it could be the husband and the wife. They just don't know about their finances. And we have the capabilities to do an asset search. We can do it an individual or we can do by a business. And get them the information they need to give to their attorney so they can subpoena the accounts and have a better understanding of what their spouse's financial situation was, because a lot of people try to hide money so that they don't have to pay child support, or when they get a divorce, 50-50 split it up, they hide it. We had a client right when I first started, a lady, she's a ER nurse in Mississippi. And she said that she's been married for like 20 years, and her husband, she put him through school, a trade school, so that he would have a career. She said, but he was always taking care of the house and everything, but he was always asking me for money. And she said, you know, we would file our tax returns and I'd never see the money that we were getting back. And long story short, she's like, Mindy, I just think he's got like a couple $100,000 somewhere stashed. So we got our asset investigator to do an asset search, and lo and behold, this man's been putting little bits here and there over these last 20 years at not a brick and mortar account, but an online bank, and he had $250,000 stashed.
That she knew nothing about.
That she knew nothing about.
Yeah.
So when she went to file for divorce, half of that was hers.
Right. You know, and everybody's supposed to disclose what they have. However, they don't always just do that, obviously. And so our asset investigators, by putting in the Social Security and or if it's a business, the EIN number, can pull up any accounts under that social. So it's 401ks, brokerage accounts, checking and savings, and it'll give you the amounts in the bank and the bank name. Okay, and then at that point, you'll then give that to your attorney for them to subpoena those records. But many people only know they have the joint account. They don't know that somebody else has a separate account. So people will call us for that. And then also for judgments that people get, they win a judgment, then they have to collect on the judgment. Then they'll call us to see if that person has money or the business has money to then collect it. So we do a lot of asset searches for our clients, and those run anywhere from $35,000 to $5,000, but well worth it if your judgment is a lot higher than that. So, and you don't know where to look, you don't know where to start. So you call a private investigator and say, hey, I need to have you run this. So it's an expensive search because it's a delicate thing, and they don't know that it's being searched. And our asset investigators have their own way of doing things, their own researchers and databases and methods, and so it's all legal, and they just have either they work for the IRS, they're usually ex-FBI, so a lot of these people go into that, and we rely on them to be able to do that. And then what else were we gonna?
I will, in talking about finances, we have not that so much the men, it's interesting, but the women that call us that don't even know how they're going to pay for a private investigator because they don't have their own money or they don't have their own credit cards. And so we do a lot of, like consulting with these people to help them, like go get a bank, go to the bank and get yourself a credit card and, pay on it for a couple of months immediately so that you build up credit so that you can have your own. If you're going to get a divorce, these people don't even know how to pay their bills. Right. It's so sad.
Or they'll call us to inquire because they're desperate. They know that their husbands are cheating. They've been married to them 20, 30 years. They are gut wrenched at the thought and notion that they might be unfaithful, and that's the hardest thing, is to have to listen to the story and console them. We have to kind of be a psychologist as well as the investigator to kind of show them the steps in which, and to, many of these women have been beaten down psychologically, emotionally, obviously. They've been made to feel crazy. I'm sure many of you watching it feel the same way, by a narcissist who have all the same patterns. We hear the same thing over and over, almost every phone call, that they have been made to feel that they're crazy, that they're hearing things, seeing things, they're wrong. They said he's even tried to commit me. They gaslight them. It's the same stories, same narcissist stories we hear, men and women, but mostly men. Our clientele is probably, people ask me all the time, how many men versus women? It's
50-50.
50, 60-40 maybe. More men do the cheating, but it's really equal, I'm going to say, at this point now.
So too.
It's come to that point, but so we kind of have to guide these women, and a lot of them do come with us with no means to pay, or they think they don't. Friends will help, family, you've got to think of other ways, or they have joint accounts, and my husband's going to know if it says Kgriff Investigations. We have other ways. We have other accounts that we can put it in that doesn't have that name, but the main thing is, we ask them, if you find out, if you get the evidence that you need that he's cheating, what's your next step? In your mind, oh, I'm divorcing him, absolutely. Okay, well, if you can't pay us, how are you going to pay your attorney? And dead silence on the end of the line. Oh, I guess I didn't think about that. Well, yes, so go get a credit card in your name, mini, start, if you're at a joint account, start getting out cash. You can buy gift cards that are like the Visas when you grocery shop. I mean, there are so many ways in which you can accumulate the money you need for our services. It's not impossible. We'll help you do that. We'll think of resources for you. I don't want anyone to ever feel like they are stuck. Eventually, we're going to start a podcast, which this is one of my clients' ideas. She wants to help other women in this situation who can't afford our services. So she wants to start a podcast that has the investigator, the therapist, an attorney, the client themselves,
A banker.
A banker to talk about all the things that ways in which there's services out there for other women, and we want to start a foundation to provide those services to women. One of the reasons I got into this profession to begin with was because I'm a big believer in trying to empower women. Mindy's always been a big advocate of that as well, and so she's one of the best when it comes to helping these people and listening to them and understanding what they're going through, and making them feel secure and knowing that they made the best call they're ever going to make in their life. This is to us, because that's the courage to make that call first is the most important thing that you can do to help yourself. And
we try to be lighthearted about it. We try to, be their friend, make them smile, but also be compassionate, understanding that we know what they're going through. I mean, we're all women. We've all been cheated on, unfortunately. And so we can relate. It's not just the women, it's the men. We've got a gentleman client right now that has become a good friend of ours. And he's, he checks on us to see if we're okay, yet he's going through a divorce because we found his wife cheating.
Right.
It's just, it's a very
interpersonal, and we develop these relationships with our clients, and we still have them 3 and 4 years later.
Not that they'll ever need us again.
Right, but they refer people, and
Exactly.
and our reviews, if y'all go to, our reviews under Kgriff Investigations, and you'll see, or our website at www.kgriff.com. No, that's my email. Wait.
www.kgriff.com.
Okay, let's do that again. Hold on. If you go to our website, which is
www.kgriff.com.
right.
That's KGRIFF.com.
Right. We have wonderful reviews. Our website is great. Thanks to our marketing person here. But she, can I plug your name? Kim Kelly. But we've been doing this a long time, and you've got to, like any profession, You've got to weed out the right people. You get what you pay for. That's always our big thing. You've got people that are out there quoting $1,000 for 40 hours or just ridiculous amounts, and you just, it's too good to be true, and you just got to be careful. You got to go with a reputable firm. We've been doing this 35 years. We're all female. We've got a nationwide network of female investigators been working with us 20 and 30 years, ever since I've been the inception. So wherever you are, whatever city, whatever state, we can help you. Well, we have an investigator there. If not, Mindy, myself, whoever we need will fly wherever we need to go. We've gone on cruises. We've gone overseas to follow people. We've gone on trains. We've gone on boats. You name it, we can do it to get you the answers that you need. And not only for court purposes for your kids, but for also your own peace of mind. You know, some people just want to know one way or another. They don't want to do anything with the information, and that's your priority. We provide you the evidence. You do what you want to do with it. Past that, we just try to give you what you need. But there are so many clients that are so thankful for what we provide, because it just justifies that they're not crazy. They were right from the beginning. Then that's the most important part is validation. I mean, and that's what these women want.
And men. I mean, it's the same. It goes both ways.
Yeah, we can't discriminate. You can't. Infidelity does not discriminate, as you know.
Young, old. I mean, when we get calls from people that are 60 and 70 years old that their husband or wife is cheating and they're crying on the phone to us,
yeah,
it's heart-wrenching. But
it is.
We are very compassionate. We try to make a difference in their situation as best we can, get them the answers they're looking for. And
99% of the time, we get what they need, because it's true. People ask me all the time, what is the percentage of when you don't find anything? I'm going to say 1%. Because as we know, a woman's intuition is usually right. Or a men's. I mean, it is. But women know when something's not right. And so, they call us to help us. You don't need to be afraid. It's always confidential. They'll never find out that they're being surveilled, because most of the men are narcissistic. I hate to say that, and think that no one would ever do that to them, and that they're very open in public about things, unless the wife has been nagging, and Mindy always tells everybody, don't let them know. Don't get off their back for a while we do this, because we want them to feel free and that they're not looking over their shoulder. Go out of town, we tell them. Take the kids. We don't want them to have any responsibility. When the cat's away, mice will play, and that's the truth. So we try to narrow it down. A lot of people say, how long does it take to get what we need? Generally, we can get it between 2 and 3 days. Evidence. We always like to show a pattern. Mindy says, obviously, because the longer the pattern you can show, the more culpability, the more what's the word I'm trying the more what's the word I'm trying to think of?
Consistency?
Well, not consistent, but
the problem is when you can't jump around. You're not in if we were in someone else's head, we'd all be millionaires.
Yeah.
But because we're not, we've got to have a starting point and an ending point, because we're not in their heads. We need to be on them for a minimum of 6 hours a day, at least. And then the next day, another 6 hours. The next day, another 6 hours. So we can do 10, we can do 8, we can do 18 hours in one day. But we're not in their heads, so you can't predict. These people that call and say, well, can you do 2 hours today and then 2 hours next week? That doesn't prove anything. What if they don't leave their house in those 2 hours?
Right.
Then you've just blown your money. We're helping you build a story, because everybody comes and goes at some time during the day. And so...
And we'll talk to you about the situation so that we can direct you on when the best time...
It's a client.
Okay, go ahead.
Loves us all the same.
Yeah, he calls us and checks
Every
in
day.
with us. Checks in every day. With that said, so anywhere between 3 and 5 days. It depends if it's a cohabitation case. You really want to show a good week-long consistency, sleeping in the same house, waking up with that person, leaving in the mornings, spending the weekends together. You want to show that pattern. Infidelity as well. Child custody when they have the kids is most important. When they don't, so people want to know what their actions and activities are when they don't have the kids, to show that they're just putting on an act when they have the kids. that they're not the best ideal role model for that for their kids. Every story is different. It's every phone call.
You never know what you're gonna.
I mean, it's just amazing. The people that are in need. I'm just going to say that there's so many people out there that need our services. It's sometimes very hard to keep up. I wish we had more of us to offer, because the phone rings 24/7. This phone is my child, my baby, everything. It's my lifeline, and I'm on it 24/7. You know, people work all different hours, so some surveillances start at 11 p.m. and go through the evening versus all day. You know, you just never know.
And Kathy is usually the case manager for all of our cases, so she's the liaison between the client and the investigator, and the investigator and the client. She keeps our clients abreast of what's going on by sending them updated text or pictures, so that they know that and trust that we are on what we're saying we're doing.
Yeah.
We're on the case.
And we keep them involved, because they may know things that we need to know, or by giving them information, they're like, oh, I know where that is. Oh my goodness, you know. So we work hand in hand with the clients very, very closely. There's a lot of firms out there that will take your money and start a surveillance, and you don't hear from them until the very end. You don't even know what you got, if you got anything. And so we're very hands-on. We really try to make our clients feel loved and respected and involved. We're very hands-on with our clients. That's one thing that sets us apart from other agencies. We keep the client informed. We want them involved in the process, or some don't want to be involved. Some say, don't call me until it's all over with, whichever you prefer. We will be with you every step of the way, and we are trustworthy, we're professional, we're confidential, and we do a great job, and we look forward to helping you if you need us.
If you need to get in touch with us, you can call our offices at 713-526-7711 for those of you out of town or out of state, 1-800-454-7433. Our website, if you need to go to it, is kgriff@kgriff.com. And again, my company is Kgriff Investigations and Civil Processing, and we look forward to hearing from you.